Hello, my creative friend. It's Summer with hammondsnest.com, and I've got a fun and simple DIY idea for you using something pretty unique. So yeah, you're seeing Snowmen here, but hang tight and see how I'm going to use them on this Vintage Casserole Carrier. It's Pyrex brand. I've always been on the lookout for one of these. Finally found one in the thrift store for a couple bucks and decided I'm going to give it just a little bit of a modern twist and use it just as a decor piece. So the fun thing about this DIY are these snowmen, because I'm actually going to use them as feet to kind of create a riser. But look, you would never know, right? And they're in the Christmas craft section at Hobby Lobby, and it's a really good price, really good deal. So just something to think about. I went ahead and just did a little bit of brown acrylic paint over because those are raw wood, kind of stained them and wiped them back. And then I want to do kind of a whitewash. And so I used the color Plaster by Waverly. It's a chalk paint, and I did the same thing. I just brushed it all over the little snowman and wiped it back. And what that did, if you can see, it left that white creamy color in all the crevices and just gave it a really cool finish. So let's pull back out this basket. Let me show you. I'm going for kind of a little bit of a cottagey look, cottage core look. I'm definitely wanting to embrace the fact that this little Pyrex carrier is vintage. So I love this brown floral that I found. I just thought it was a sweet little touch. So I am just tracing, you saw, with a little pencil to get a pretty good idea of the exact piece of fabric I needed a decoupage in there, and it worked out really well. So I'm using some Mod Podge. I'm going to put a really healthy coat down just to stick this fabric down. And once that is applied, there I go. I'm going to press from the center to the outside, working out any kind of bubbles. And when you're doing fabric, if you ever decoupage with fabric, you'll notice sometimes whatever you cut, it seems like it gets bigger. So just keep that in mind when you're pressing, because the fabric weave and all that kind of opens up a little bit. So I got that in place. It fit perfectly, looked great. Went ahead and sealed it with some Mod Podge. And just as a finishing touch, even though it looked great, I had this cording that I decided to trim around the edges of where I decoupage, and that just gives it a real nice finished look inside. And I wish I could remember where I got this cording, but it is like almost like a braided jute look. Now, any kind of cording would work for something like this, but this is always a nice touch, especially when you're decoupaging with fabric like this, maybe the inside of a tray or like what I'm doing here. And it just gives you that finished edge because of the cut fabric that you decoupaged. So got that all in place, and I am very happy with how this looks so far. And I really went back and forth on whether to do anything besides decoupage the fabric in the basket. And I just really wanted to embrace the vintage look because I love the way it looks. So I'm going to grab those little snowmen, aka riser feet, out, and I'm going to use some E6000 and put those in place and let that sit overnight, and that'll be nice and cured in a few hours, or sometimes just leave that stuff overnight. And here is the finished look, y'all. I love it so much. I think it's so charming, definitely giving me the cottage core feels that I was going for. And I'm gonna show you a little light, easy staging idea. I got a candle and a couple little pumpkins and some greenery, and look how sweet this is. Look, keep your eye out for these, because these would be so cute done in a number of ways. I hope you enjoyed all the crafty techniques in today's video, and come back soon for more ideas. Bye-bye.